When was the last time you thought about what you really want, not what you don't want? How often do you think to yourself, oh yeah, I don't want this, I don't want that, I know I don't want that, but you have no clarity on what you actually do want. You have a vague outline, a vague idea, but no actual crystal clear thoughts. But you are 100% crystal clear about what you don't want in life. Welcome back to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. I'm Sanch and I'm here to help you break out of that daily grind, shift your mindset and build the habits that will take you from simply surviving to absolutely thriving. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. It's going to be one that hits home for a lot of people because today I'm talking about something that many of us struggle with. I know I did. And it's why we know what we don't want but actually struggle to know what we do want. So here's a quote from Tony Robbins, and that is, clarity is power. The more clear you are about what you want, the more your brain knows how to get you there. And it's so true, because when I was unsure about what I wanted, I would just do everything. And I didn't know what action to take, what action not to take. But the moment I became clear on what I wanted, that I wanted to, say, start a podcast, or the fact I wanted to start a Facebook community to help as many people as possible, that's when everything changed. That's when I actually stopped getting distracted. That's when I stopped messing about and I actually started taking the action that I needed to take. My brain knew how to get me to where I wanted to get to. But I just needed to have that clarity to give it the instruction to tell me what I needed to do. So in today's episode, I'm going to be unpacking why it's so easy to point out what you don't want, but it's so difficult to figure out what you do want. I'm going to be talking about the importance of clarity and explore 5 practical ways for you to find it. So you're going to want to remember these tips because it can change your life. So let's start off with why we find it so easy to know what we don't want, but struggle to know what we do want. And that is the basis of what our problem is. It is that so many of you have a laundry list of things that you don't want. It's easy for you to just reel off all these things that you don't want. But when asked, what do you want? You come up blank. And one of the biggest reasons is your brain is naturally wired to focus on avoiding pain and discomfort rather than you actually pursuing what makes you happy. Again, I spoke about it in the last episode, and it's called the negativity bias. And it's just because your brain is there to keep you safe. So it's focused on avoiding the pain that you're feeling. It's there avoiding any discomfort. So you're better at spotting things that you don't want, that will actually hurt you, the things that will actually cause you pain, the things that will cause you discomfort, the things that may actually cause you harm, anything that may threaten you. So your brain is actually focused on the things that you don't want. So knowing what you don't want, that's easy. That's your survival instinct in action. Knowing that you don't want to be 300 pounds, and knowing that you don't want to be broke, knowing that you don't want to be struggling, knowing that you want knowing that you don't want to be single, all of that stuff, that's survival instinct in action. But on the other hand, that means that if your brain is always focusing on the avoiding pain and avoiding discomfort, it means that figuring out what you actually want takes more intention and reflection. It's not as automatic, it's not as easy, and it actually requires you to actually pause, to think about the things that bring you joy, to think about the things that make you feel fulfilled, and the things that bring you satisfaction. That's a lot more work for your mind. That's a lot more energy consumption. Because if you're used to only focusing on what you don't like, your mental muscle for thinking about what you do want, that's the one that's underdeveloped. Your negative thoughts are processed quicker than your positive ones. So you're actually hardwired to think negatively. So when you come up with that list of things you don't want, a lot quicker than the things you do want. That's a natural mechanism in your mind. But you need to start becoming clear on what you want, because that's how you're going to change your life. So if we're wired to focus on the negative, why do you want to change it? Why is it so important to become clear on what you actually want? And the answer is simple, and it came across in the quote: clarity is powerful. When you know exactly what you want, you're not drifting through life, you're steering it. When you've got clarity, it gives you a target, it gives you a direction, it gives you control. It's like switching on your fog lights during the night when you're struggling to see the road in front of you. It now means that going from a foggy path, you go to a clear, open road where you can see for miles, where you couldn't see 50 feet in front of you, to be able to see 100 plus meters in front of you. When you don't have clarity, it's like setting out on a journey without a destination. You just know a rough area you want to land in. Sure, you're moving, but you don't know if you're moving in the right direction. You don't know if you're moving towards something that actually makes you happy. And here's the key: people who set clear goals are more likely to be successful than those who don't. 10 times more likely to be successful. That's a huge difference. So imagine, instead of saying, I don't want to be stressed all the time, you say, I want a life where I can feel calm, I feel balanced, and I feel in control. That first statement is vague, and it just focuses on avoiding your pain. The second is a clear statement, it's positive, and it gives you something specific to work towards. When you're clear about what you want, you activate the part of your brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS. This is the part of your brain that helps filter out distractions and helps you focus on the things that align with your goals. So the clearer you are, the more your brain knows exactly what to look for. And the reticular activating system, I'm sure you have seen this or noticed this before in your life, where you say you've gone out to buy a car, you've gone out to buy, say, a sky blue Hyundai, and you don't see any of them on the road. But the moment you go out to look for it, all of a sudden you see them everywhere. You see them all over the road, and it seems like they're the most common car on the road. That's because when you say you want one, your reticular activating system goes into overdrive, trying to find every single one out there. So when you have clarity, it actually increases your motivation, because when you know what you want, you're more motivated to take action. It gives you better decision making skills, because clarity actually helps you make the decisions that align with your goals. And that means that you're cutting down on things like hesitation and doubt, because you've got that clarity. You know that whether the task in front of you will get you closer to or further from your goals. And the third thing it does is clarity gives you more confidence, because knowing what you want gives you a sense of direction. It boosts your confidence and it boosts your self-trust, because you know what you're doing, you know how to get there, and you know that actually you're taking the right steps. So take a moment, get a piece of paper, just think about it to yourself. What do you want in life? Do you want to have a better relationship with your spouse? Do you want to have better relationship with your kids? What does that better relationship look like? So with your spouse, is that a date night every Friday? Is it actually you guys going away on a holiday every 6 months? Is it you guys being more physically affectionate, sending nice messages to each other, just reminding each other? What does having a better relationship look like? And with your kids, what does that mean? Spending more quality time with them, actually spending uninterrupted time with them, spending one-on-one time with them. What does that look like to you? So how are you going to gain that clarity? Yeah, get a piece of paper, and that's for me the basics. Start off with a piece of paper, because I like to write stuff down. For one, reflect on your past experiences. Think back to times when you felt happy, fulfilled. What were you doing? Who were you with? Where were you? Things like that. You'll find clues as to what you want because you know the moments you've already experienced. So reflecting on your past highs can be revealing because it reminds you of what truly brings you joy. So write down some 5 experiences, say, where you felt the happiest or most fulfilled. Look for any patterns that emerge from this. What do these moments tell you about what you want in your life? Second thing, define your values. Yes, it's great to have an idea, but when you actually have values, you've got an internal compass. When you're clear on what you value, whether it's honesty, freedom, creativity, connection, whatever it is, it becomes much easier to understand what you want. If something aligns with your values, it's likely to bring you fulfillment. It's easier for you to take action and make decisions based on those values. So list your top 5 personal values. Ask yourself what kind of goals or lifestyle would honor these values. Let this list guide you in making the right decisions that will align with who you actually are. Number 3, visualize your ideal life. Close your eyes and imagine your ideal day. Write it down. A day where you're living the life that you really want. Where are you? Who are you with? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What do you do in the day? This exercise, it means it allows you to bypass the fear, the self-doubt that often keeps you stuck in the I don't know mindset. Visualization is so powerful, and there have been studies after studies that show that people who visualize, they can actually improve as much as those who actually train. Visualization is not just wishful thinking, it's actually priming your brain for the life you want. The 4th thing is experiment and try new things. If you're still unsure of what you want, give yourself permission to go out and try new things. Give yourself time to explore. You don't need all the answers today. Sometimes clarity can actually come through actions. It can come through putting yourself out there, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and trying new things. You actually learn to see what resonates with you and what doesn't. So make a list of activities or goals that have maybe intrigued you but you've never tried. Give yourself time and explore them without committing long term. It's about discovering what makes you feel alive and energized. Finally, ask yourself the big questions. Take some time and actually journal on these. It's as simple as sitting down with that pen and paper and asking yourself, what would I do if there were no limits? If money, time, fear weren't an issue? What would your life look like? This can open you up to possibilities that you may not have considered. Here's some questions you may want to try. What impact do I want to make in the world? What do I want to be remembered for? What do I want to experience? Clarity doesn't have to be elusive. When you know what you don't want, it's a good start. But to truly thrive and to live the life you want, it's essential to dig deeper and uncover what you do want. When you take the time to reflect on your past, define your values, visualize your ideal life, experiment and ask the big questions, that's when you create a roadmap to a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. So what's one small step you can take today to start uncovering what you really want in life? Thank you for joining me on today's episode. I hope this episode has sparked some new thoughts and motivated you to seek clarity. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who may need it. Don't forget to leave me a rating or a review wherever you're listening to this, and don't forget to subscribe for more mindset insights. So until next time, remember, the life you want is waiting for you. Stay curious, stay focused, and start creating it one step at a time.